Morning, Anna from AAP. You've got your foreigners in training. I guess we're going to see them in tomorrow night's action.
Look, they've only been out of quarantine for 8 or 9 days now, so it hasn't been a long, extensive period of training yet, and obviously adapting to the weather in Australia. So it's probably going to be tough for them to make the team sheet in this first game, but we're looking to get them up to speed as quick as we can.
And I know when Marcus had his presser, it was very much what he could bring to the team beyond what he brought on the pitch. I guess, what have you noticed from these 3 signings already, what they've brought to the group?
Yeah, look, I think Marco is true to his word. He's been fantastic in and around our young group. He knew the group that he was coming into. You know, we had a couple of Zoom meetings with him before he even arrived and signed for the club, and you know, he's exactly the kind of character we want in the club. He's a leader, he's experienced, he wants to share his information, his knowledge and his skill with the group and bring everyone else along for the ride. So yeah, look, they've all 3 have adjusted really well to the group and bonded really well with the team already in the short space of time they've been here. But look, it's just a starting point for them, and I'm sure they'll grow and evolve as the next week or two to develop.
Alan, a bit of time between games, you had that sort of momentum. How have you kept it going in terms of not, not playing?
Yeah, look, it's tough, but luckily enough in the A-League we get usually a 12-week or a 16-week pre-season, so it's just another 2 weeks of almost pre-season again and getting ready for these next 2 matches which come within the space of 3 days. So yeah, look, it's not the easiest schedule to deal with, but as we all know, you know, everyone's got their little bit of difficulties during the COVID era, and there's some things we can't control. So you just got to get on with your business and do the best you can, preparing for the matches the best way you can, and that's you know, I'm really happy that the group's been able to do that and had that resilience throughout the whole COVID period. And I think, you know, that's sort of paying a bit of dividends now that sort of resilience is inbuilt within our squad.
Alan, Luke here from Coast FM. Just on a couple of your young players that are coming through, just talk to us about Casella and also Josh Nisbet in the change of role that you've seen him through this season.
Yeah, look, Nizzy really came into his own towards the back end of last season. He's worked tremendously hard to earn that jersey, to get minutes on the pitch, and he's just grabbed his opportunity with both hands. And you know, he's such a top kid, such a hard worker. He's so coachable. So look, I'm just really happy with his progress and know that he gives everything he possibly can for the team. He's a real team player and a real asset for our team. So really happy with him and how he's progressing. And Jaden's come into the team only recently, came here on trial and excelled in the trial, and he's shown some, you know, exuberance and excitement and flair and quite quick. So yeah, look, he's come in and like Nizzy, he's grabbed his opportunity with both hands, and you know, he's going to be an integral part of this squad, you know, as we move towards the middle part of the season.
Defensively, Alan, you've been hard to break down the opening couple of rounds. What do you attribute that to, and the form of your 2 centre defenders as well?
Yeah, look, defending is a collective, and that's the most pleasing part. You know, Beers has had to do 1 or 2 saves per game, and that's his job. The centre-backs have had to defend 3 or 4 crucial moments, but, you know, defending is not a goalkeeper or 2 centre-backs. It's the whole 11 players as a collective working together and putting in the hard yards to ensure that every line behind them has less work to do. And, you know, we've really defended well from up front, and you know, I think I have to pay a lot of tribute to our forwards who sometimes, you know, don't like doing the work. You know, forwards are traditionally your creative players and your goal scorers in a squad, but in our squad everyone works together, and to have that collective unity and spirit amongst the squad is really important, not only just for our defensive effort but for our team spirit as well.
Alan, what have you made of the Wanderers under Carl Robinson? Have they changed much from last season, do you think?
Look, Carl's been in the league for a while now with Newcastle and the Wanderers, and you know, they've obviously progressed well. You know, they've had some good results. They've had some mixed results, but you know, a team that's just developing as well and evolving. So I'm sure that's, that's a long-term process when you get a new coach in. You can't just wave a magic wand and all of a sudden have exactly what you want. So, I'm sure they're a team that will build and grow as the season goes on.
What did you make of the derby the other day?
Yeah, look, I thought it had some good moments. I thought both teams had good moments. I thought Sydney were probably the more effective at the beginning of the game in creating chances and having that cutting edge, with Wanderers maybe on the counter-attack having one or two chances. But I thought as the game wore on, the Wanderers gradually got on top and probably the last 20, 30 minutes they were unlucky not to win the game. So, they showed a good amount of fitness and resilience, and the players who came on had a real impact in the game for them. So, I thought they were probably unlucky not to win it in the end. And Muller obviously had that one-on-one where he could have scored. So, yeah, definitely an improving team and a dangerous team for us on Tuesday night.
And then having the short break compared to you guys having the longer break, how do you think that'll work out?
Yeah, well, look, no one's got as many short breaks as we have. We had one in between Newcastle and Macarthur, and we've got one between Wanderers and Sydney, and then we've got our next game also between Melbourne City and Wellington. So, it is what it is. It's part of the draw. Wanderers aren't going to make any excuses, and neither will we.
Just on that, the short breaks, you obviously, the way you approached between your first game clearly worked out. Do you take a similar approach this time around?
Oh, look, we'll just take each, sorry for the cliche, but we'll just take each one as it comes. We just don't know how the team's going to fare in the game and post-match and the recovery of the players and injuries and all those other things, the tempo of the game. So you just don't know all those things till you actually play the game. We had a game plan set out for the Newcastle game, and then based on that, we developed and solidified the plan for the Macarthur game. And it worked out, thankfully, but what we're going to do this time, we just don't know. But the good part is we've got a little bit more depth now with the 3 foreigners that have come in and the young kids who have been training with us now for a couple of months. So we've got a good solid base to choose from, and touch wood. At the moment we've got no injuries, so just having that little bit of depth and cover gives me a little bit more confidence going into both matches.
And first time you guys are coming up against Ziggy Gordon since he left. I think he's actually doing media today. It all seemed relatively amicable, but I'm sure your players will enjoy going up against him.
Oh, look, we're playing against the Wanderers. I don't really care who's playing for them. It's not our business to worry about them, whether it's Ziggy or Troisi or anyone else. They're a squad and they're one of our rivals, and we were turning up on Tuesday night to beat the whole team, not one person.
Alan, just on a personal note, Frank Baroque obviously sadly passed away last week. Just talk to us about your relationship with him.
Yeah, look, very sad, and obviously I'd like to pass on my condolences and thoughts to all his family and close friends. And yeah, look, I was part of that first apprenticeship scheme that St George developed. That was his idea and his initiative, and it was really one of the first professional setups in Australia. And he used to coach us 2 or 3 mornings a week, and just to have at that time the Socceroos coach, or he'd just left as the Socceroos coach as your junior coach, was an amazing experience. He's without question one of the most motivating and inspirational coaches I've ever worked with, and you could see how he pumped up his teams back at St George and the Socceroos to overachieve. He really believed. I guess the thing that I took most away from him, he really believed in Australia, and he really believed in Australians, and to have that from someone who's come from a different country was something that I've really kept close to me for my time within Australian football.